experiences, regardless of where they occur, be it on the physical, passing dream level, or be they experiences on the real side, are all for the purpose of becoming more aware through. All experiences are so that we can come to a point in our lifetimes that we want to see more, and this personal self-want is the decision that affects experiences that move us out of routines and into a more exploratory mode. The real guides will recognize this and make the determination when to make their presence known, and provide the opportunity of becoming more aware, and the journey to is recognition. With awareness, we can appreciate then that experiences received while still in creation on the physical or the real side are not the true reality life is, as this is a reality all of its own and is invisible from the perspective of the personal self. All experience is for the personal self, that we can reach the understanding that everything in creation and all the experience that stems from it is the comparison by which we can recognize the true reality. All the experiences provide objective views, and if we are able to be objective to them all, then this is our real awareness that we are viewing from. To think that the personal self, the experiences that stem from it, and creation itself is who we are, has us subjective to the overall experience. It has us immersed in the experience. To be the objective view has us move into the mode of being the experiencer. We have moved out of the personal self and the experiences that generate from it, and so must be standing in our real awareness, which is the place we need to ideally be to understand the experiences the guides and life is showing us most effectively, and the only place where we can recognize the is from. the personal self is created, that it can generate these experiences through the decisions that we make through cause and effect in creation. The focus that we have and where we place our intent will dictate the experiences we have also, as our experiences where we are positioned in a life will be in accordance with what we are deciding moment by moment. The real guides and life always are providing hints and demonstrations of what we need to be aware of now, and the extent to which they can provide these experiences, the extent to which we are shown more on the real side is dependent on our decision to wish to be and see more, where we place our intent. Intent always is demonstrated on the real side, and if our intents are very much personal self-orientated, our experiences will reflect this and be of a more limited personal self-nature. We have decided by the very placing of our intent with the personal self to not be shown more, and we can encase ourselves in the confinement and obscuring filters of the personal self, with too much focus placed there, and remove ourselves from our real intent, which is our real awareness, which is the real you, which is the isness we are trying to recognize through the real awareness. Consequently, the guides and life cannot show us anything further, because we have effectively chosen and decided to not see more by virtue of the fact that we are focusing on the personal self, catering to its needs, and locking ourselves then in self-decided bubbles of personal self-restriction. As we move along with our process of awareness, we will undoubtedly always be accessing more and more of the awareness that we are, the real awareness, and that which we is, this isness. As the is this invisible reality, which is an endless everything to be recognized. It can't be contained or evaluated in any experience. Any experience is creationally based, and for our personal self to recognize the is through comparison. Initially, then, our experiences on the real side are very much like movies and scenes that require little deciphering other than the recognition of what it is they are intended to demonstrate. Experiences, then, may gradually become more is-orientated, that we must stretch with our recognition more so to decipher. We may have real-side experiences as a combination of visual, movie-like imagery, but interspersed with impressions also. Impressions from the true reality that we require recognition to read, that if we fail to do so, the dream experience may lack information or seem very mundane, and yet we can start to have experiences where there is the visual part going on that is readily viewed, and something else, either in addition to the visuals, or even something completely different going on, as though subtly behind the visual surface content, and requiring recognition to experience. The guides are undoubtedly always testing our recognitional acumen by gradually bringing in experiences of this nature that require more so recognition through our real awareness that the personal created self hasn't the facility to decipher. The personal self is designed to decode the creational simulator it is in, and not the true reality that can only be recognized through the real awareness, the real you, that stands in this isness now, for eventually to stand in that true reality, to have superseded the necessity for the simulator. We need to be able to recognize the true reality life is. And so it makes sense that the real side experiences at one point begin to present themselves in a form that require ever-increasing recognitional ability to perceive. Consequently, we ought have no necessity to chase experiences, as experience follows intent, focus, and what we decide. If our real intent is recognized and embraced, and our focus placed sincerely on the recognition of the true reality, the experiences reflecting this decision will be in alignment with this endeavor, as everything equals itself. What you decide is what you are now, moment by moment. If you have decided to stand real with the ease, all experiences you have must be of a nature that facilitate the awareness for transition from your position in life now to that decided goal you have set for yourself. All the real side experiences will roll out in accordance with that decided intent. Nevertheless, the personal self remains our burden to carry, necessary as it is for recognizing the ears through, and it will have its funny ideas, attitudes, and so forth. Occasionally, my personal self will get funny notions regarding real side experiences, and in particular, the personal self-concern regarding the recollection of certain experiences, and if we indulge the personal self, it can get a bit carried away. We'd do best not to encourage it. This personal self-concern then translated, as everything we focus on does, onto the real side, and consequently I had been finding myself having certain real side experiences that whilst in the midst of, I would be considering through my personal self how this would be a great dream to record in the morning when I awake, and so the moment that particular real side experience ceased, and finding myself in a more mundane setting, by that I mean a situation where I wasn't fighting dragons or anything that would rather require my attention, I was actually producing a piece of paper and writing down the experience I had just had while on the real side. Maybe my personal self felt this would be an aid to memory for when I awake, and I have done this on several occasions now, but as it transpires, it makes no difference to the recollection. I either remember them or I don't,